Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Roy Rath Motorsports, and I'm underneath a TRX right now. It's stock height, it's stock wheels, stock suspension, stock everything. It's got our 1000 package, makes about 833 to the wheels. But the purpose of the videos is to kind of just share a little insight as to what happens with the axle breakings. A lot of you guys are saying, hey, my axle's broke, or why do these trucks come with the broken axle? So I have two TRXs right now, this one at static height as if it would be on the street, and then I have another one that we're going to go over. And what I want to show you is going to be the CV axle angle, and then why, or sorry, the CV angle and why they tend to break, specifically when you have like leveling kits, lift kits, or you add a crap ton of power. So in our case, we recommend to stay stock if you're going to be adding power. But again, your truck, you do what you want to do. This video is strictly informational and just to highlight what goes on so you guys understand what's happening, why these axles are breaking, and you can take that into mind when you're modding or when you're out doing spirited driving or jumping these trucks. So take a look, shall we? So 2022 TRX, as you can see, doesn't have any lift kit, stock wheels, stock tires, stock height, stock everything. And what I want to showcase is, we're just going to look at the front left real quick at normal height. So what we want to focus on is right here. So if I'm looking at the angle, that's the front of the truck, this is the rear of the truck. You can see how it already, the boot comes down and it angles down here. So when we add leveling kits or lift kits, what we're essentially doing is increasing the distance. And what that does is it changes the angle. So this is stock height at normal, you know, like normal driving. Let's look at what it looks like at full droop so you guys can see the difference. So we're concerned about this angle here, and it's the same on the other side as well. So this is another TRX, same thing, stock wheels, stock height. I don't have no leveling kit, no nothing, stock suspension. But what I want to show you is this is full droop basically. So the suspension is going to be hanging at its lowest point. And this would be like if you were jumping or when you come up off the jump and, you know, the suspension settles down, this is kind of what it's going to look like. But notice the difference in the angle. That angle is horrible. And this is stock. So now imagine another 2 or 3 or 1.5 inch leveling kit. This angle is going to increase by that distance, 1.5, 2 inches. And yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like in stock form. Imagine adding another 1, 2, 3, or however you're going to lift it. All right, so we see the difference in height when it's at full droop and when it's at normal. So I'm going to take this straw for reference and I'm going to line it up with the axle here. So let's pretend that this is the axle right here, and I'm just going to take the straw, I'm going to move it forward, follow me here. And basically this is where it connects to the transfer case, and this is where it connects to the actual wheel. So what happens is we already have a bad angle, right? Let's say we do a leveling kit, we do a lift kit or something. What's going to happen is as we lift it, the angle increases, but now there's going to be an opposing force that's actually pulling the axle as a suspension flex. So imagine, you know, I already have a bad angle from the factory. We level it, we turn it, and it flex. What's going to happen as I pull, you know, it's either going to break here, so you can see, or the opposite, it's going to break out the other side. Let's say we come up, we rebound, or we go full lock. So, or, you know, maybe they snap. I haven't seen an axle slap, but you get the idea, right? Like we're increasing the angle, we're increasing the length. The more the axle has to stretch, the axle itself is not increasing, but the actual forces being applied on the axle as the suspension is traveling, it's greater, there's more tension. So what ends up happening is it's like you breaking a stick. Take a stick, break it in half, or hold it at the ends, pull it and hold it down. That's exactly what's going on. So the greater we lift the truck, the higher we lift it, 1.5 to 3 inches, this is only going to get worse. So if I'm already right here and I add a 3-inch lift, now this angle is going to come up, right? And as we, you know, we're going to break here. So it's going to pull it out, it's going to break it, or it's going to come out and you're going to get, you know, the boot's going to tear and there's going to be grease all over the place. And you're like, well, it's not really broke, but why did it do this? Well, that's why. So hopefully really quick, I just kind of wanted to showcase that. We see a lot of TRXs coming into the shop with these issues, broken axles, or the boot is torn, the axle's not necessarily broke and we can recover it. But when you go to add power, that increases the torque. Obviously, there's more horsepower, there's more power going through the drivetrain. And if you have a leveling kit, larger wheels or whatever, where the truck sits a lot higher, it's a recipe for disaster. So I'm not putting this video out to say don't level your truck, don't lift your truck. But oftentimes I've seen the forums, I see in the Ram TRX's pages where people are like, why is this happening? Ram built a $100,000 truck and it's breaking. it's not necessarily their fault. You want more suspension, you want more ground clearance, you want to put 35s on here. There's got to be some kind of trade-off. Luckily, the axles are a little bit beefier, but it doesn't change the fact that the more we increase that angle, eventually we're going to get to a certain point where it just can't hold. So that's all I got for you guys for today. I hope this video is helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Once again, this is not to discourage anyone. I'm not hating on any brand. I have nothing, there's nothing for me here other than to share value and help you guys out. So any questions, hit me up. You guys have a great Friday and a good weekend.